Well, rather intriguing report to share with you guys today. Millionaires and billionaires and powerful people all across the United States of America are avidly preparing. But what exactly are they preparing for? And what do they happen to know that the average American doesn't? But before I get into that, I want to remind you, check out restrictedrepublic.com right now. I've got an amazing special. You can get it for $50 per year using the coupon code FOREVER50. And that's a forever rate as long as you have Restricted Republic. Get to restrictedrepublic.com. And by the way, it's got a 14-day free trial. All right, so let's dive into powerful people, millionaires and billionaires, and how they are preparing, quite frankly, for the apocalypse. Take a look here at theguardian.com, and it's headlined, "The super rich preppers are planning to save themselves from the apocalypse. Tech billionaires are buying up luxury bunkers and hiring military security to survive a societal collapse they help create. But like everything they do, it has unintended consequences." Now, before I dive into that report, I want to kind of give you a background, because what that Guardian article does is it tells a story of the writer, the young man, having this private meeting with a couple of billionaires and millionaires. And during this meeting, they were very inquisitive of him, asking him questions, basically how to prepare for the end. And here are some of the questions that they actually asked him. This is in that same article there, but here's what it says. They, the millionaires and billionaires, edged into their real topic of concern: New Zealand or Alaska? Which region would be less affected by the coming climate crisis? And it only got worse from there. Which was the greater threat, global warming or biological warfare? How long should one plan to be able to survive with no outside help? Should a shelter have its own air supply? What was the likelihood of groundwater contamination? Finally, the CEO of a brokerage house explained that he had nearly completed building his own underground bunker system and asked, "How do I maintain authority over my security force after the event?" The event, that was their euphemism for the environmental collapse, social unrest, nuclear explosion, solar storm, unstoppable virus, or malicious computer hack that takes everything down. The single question occupied us for the rest of the hour. They knew armed guards would be required to protect their compounds from raiders, as well as angry mobs. One had already secured a dozen Navy SEALs to make their way to his compound if he gave them the right cue. But how would he pay the guards once even his crypto was worthless? What would stop the guards from eventually choosing their own leader? Then they go on to conclude with this. For them, the millionaires and billionaires, the future of technology is about only one thing: escape from the rest of us. And he also concludes with this: instead of just lording over us forever, however, the billionaires at the top of these virtual pyramids actively seek the end game. In fact, like the plot of a Marvel blockbuster, the very structure of the mindset requires an end game. That is a very, very chilling statement to know that millionaires and billionaires all over the world are all about the end game. The end game. And by the way, that's a very recent article. That's not an old one. It was written just a few days ago. And to kind of put a little bit more fuel on the fire, here's another article by The Guardian that you have to see, and here it is. Our top search term is nuclear. U.S. bunker sales soar as anxiety over Russia rises. Amid Russia's war on Ukraine and a global pandemic, pressure is once again building to think about how people can protect themselves during a crisis. And this was written March 2022. But the article goes on to state, Gary Lynch is the CEO of Rising S Company in Texas. When I first visited his warehouse in 2018, I watched his crew assemble, deliver, and bury a handful of bunkers in people's backyards every month. The bunkers are thick plate steel boxes that are welded together like a giant Lego set. The size of the bunker limited only by a client's resources. Sales, he said, have spiked 1,000% since that time as anxieties around the pandemic, civil unrest, climate change, and war have driven more buyers to his company. In the past month, I would have normally fielded less than 100 inquiries. I've fielded over 3,000, Lynch tells me over the phone. He sold 5 bunkers on a single day in February at prices ranging from $70,000 to $240,000. That is a massive increase. Since 2018, his sales have gone up 1,000-fold. I think our millionaires, our billionaires are preparing. And unfortunately, us, normal people out here don't have enough money to build the bunkers. I guess we'll just be left behind to work it out. But the bottom line is, I think most people feel we are in a very turbulent place, especially here in the United States of America, especially with the fact of Joe Biden's latest speech where he called every single MAGA supporter, those who support Make America Great Again, by the way, and who support the former president of the United States. He said that we are an extreme threat to democracy. This coming from a guy who campaigned on unity. He is the most anti-unifying president that has ever existed, ever existed. But I think that if you can prepare, absolutely do so. I know that I prepare with food and all these kinds of things here at my house. We take as many steps as we can toward preparing for God only knows what in the environment that we're in now. But here's an article, by the way, that I think you guys are going to find, well, it's going to put a smile on your face because liberals are also leaving. Take a look at this article on dailymail.co.uk. Loaded liberals are paying millions for golden visas to other countries because they are scared of a Trump-led civil war in 2024. No joke. Wealthy wokes plan their escape, but why didn't they go in 2016? Good question. It goes on to state this. The wealthy wokes are spending huge sums to bag visas that allow them to escape to countries like Austria, Turkey, Jordan, and the Caribbean, according to attorneys running the processes. Consultants say they've seen a massive spike in interest for citizenship for second countries over the last few years. Many Americans told them they are petrified by the thought of another Trump administration, while others cited Roe v. Wade ruling and the 2008 crash. The lawyers refused to name names, but a sea of celebrities have hinted at fleeing abroad, including Chelsea Handler, Barbara Streisand, Amy Schumer. I really hope they get the hell out of the country. I don't care why. The thing is, it's so stupid. It is really stupid. There is not going to be a Trump-led civil war. That's just stupid, fear-mongering talk from the left. But if it encourages a bunch of liberals to exit our country, bye, sayonara, billionaire, millionaire liberals, get out of here. Get out of here. We don't want you. Go bye-bye. We don't want your policies. Go to Turkey. I'm sure Erdogan will love you there. Probably have everything you want in that country, right? Anyway, I thought you guys would like that one. We have some millionaire liberals exiting the country. If Barbara Streisand goes, I will have a celebration like her and Amy Schumer. And I'm just like, yeah, baby. We can all celebrate that together. But one little piece of the puzzle that I think is interesting too is the fact that stockholders are also jumping ship on stocks, right? Take a look at this Zero Hedge article. Insiders are dumping stocks at the fastest pace in months. Now, the article goes on to state this. A Bloomberg reports corporate insiders dumped their own shares aggressively in August, with some 2,150 executives hitting the sell button, the most since November 2021 on a net daily basis. That's pushed the ratio of inside selling to buying to the highest since February, data compiled by the Washington Service show. And it states, it's yet another signpost, another signal that there is a high degree of uncertainty around the future. Quincy Crosby, LPL financial chief, global strategist, said by phone. Interesting. And you can see the chart there of the jumping ship on some of the stocks. That's because we've got an idiot for a president right now who, again, does nothing but sow division. Anyhow, I'd love to get your thoughts, comments, and concerns. Please don't forget to check out my partner at noblegoldinvestments.com. Look, we all know that economic craziness is dead ahead in our very near future. Please make sure you yourself and your family are prepared for that. And one of the ways in which you can do that is you can diversify your profile, get out of the dollar and get into some gold, silver, precious metals. If you don't have a 401k or a 401k or a Roth IRA, then give them a call and talk to their no-hassle specialist. And right now, they're giving away this 1/10 ounce gold coin with any approved plan. This thing is absolutely amazing. Anyhow, I love all of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Lisa Haven, signing out.